let's maybe focus on early 70s. You've evolved quite a bit from a personal injury, whatever comes in the door firm, to, at least for you, you were doing sophisticated, large-scale commercial litigation, not only plaintiff's side, a very sophisticated kind of big firm, big shot practice, yes? Tell us about your practice in say, the mid-'70s.
Well, let's see, in the mid-'70s, I was still flush from prevailing on the Connie Hawkins case. So I did a few antitrust things, and I participated in class actions. I got class actions referred to me. One of the prominent firms that handled class actions here called and asked me to represent them in a class action securities case, which I did. And that was a whole other area of law. I didn't like the class actions so much, but I did do them. And I became involved in one against the Continental Can Company that turned out to be a huge case. One of the young associates at the office, Tom Betts, who later left us to become a priest. I kept telling him, I'm trying to save you, Tom. He was a very good lawyer. I still see him. We still get together at least once a year. So I handled some securities cases. I handled class actions. And these were very, very different from the personal injury cases. A lot more were down in federal court, where there were more sophisticated types of cases often going on that I was asked to represent people in, and I did.
And now the attorneys on the other side of these sorts of things would be men, big firm, very resourced. Did you ever feel like a kind of, David against Goliath?
Yes. Yes, I did feel that way, but I kind of grew up in the law that way, and then eventually there were cases where I got to represent some of the people who had the Goliath ability and to back them, and that was fun. It was good, a very good experience to practice on both sides, and it was I continued teaching all those years. From evidence, I went on to teach trial practice. I started at Pitt. They didn't have any courses in trial practice, and Harvard. I kept bugging Ed Sell, the guy who asked me to teach evidence, about we really ought to have a trial practice course here, teaching lawyers how to try cases. And he'd say, "No, you don't need that those sexy courses. We don't need those courses." And then finally one year, Harvard put in a trial advocacy class, and I went back. Ed, Harvard's teaching this now. surely we can do it too. And so he did let me, and I started the trial advocacy practice, which now is taught in every law school.
When did you begin to feel like, yeah, I've made it. I'm a big shot successful lawyer?
Oh, I would never say that about myself.
To this day, you don't think you were?
I'm a big shot successful lawyer?
Yeah.
If I thought it, I wouldn't say it.
Okay, but when did you start out? It's having done well in law school, but you have to be kind of scrappy and prove yourself. When did you feel that you had proved yourself in the community and you were successful in your chosen profession?
Well, I guess I did come to feel that, but nevertheless, in every case I handled, I felt as if I had to overcome big odds, because in most of them I did.
You probably know this. People come up to you. People come up to me all the time, usually women lawyers, and to tell me that they think of you as a role model and what an inspiration you were in their careers. Does that make you feel proud, strange, old, happy?
All of those. But being called a role model, I'm used to it now, it's a very gratifying thing to hear. The one description that kind of threw me back was somebody was introducing me to a group, and I was going to be talking about something or other to do with trials. And they said, and we'd like to introduce a real pioneer in the practice of law. And I guess I had never thought of myself as a pioneer. That kind of took me back. But being called a role model is something I'm really proud of. I once had a woman come up to me on the street. I was walking down Grant Street, and a woman came up to me, a young woman, and said, "You're Rosalind Lippman. You don't know me, but I want you to know you're everything that I would like to be." It really brought tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
It's a very nice thing for someone to say. But I was very fortunate. Daddy was not only my partner in marriage, he was my partner in law, and he was so supportive. So supportive. He was my biggest fan, probably. So a lot of the cases I got because he talked me up.